2026 is starting off strong in the film world, with big releases on the horizon. One that may have unfairly slipped under the radar is Angel Studios' newest release, I Was a Stranger, a hard-hitting work of art that reminds us the Syrian refugee crisis is still very present. It's a powerful topic, but is the film well made? Let's talk about it. War spares no one, not even children, and that fact is clearly shown in this film, which is a moving and beautifully crafted glimpse into this crisis that reminds us that every person we encounter is a fellow image bearer of God. The film follows 5 lives of complete strangers who, by the end of the movie, their lives have intertwined. The first character is a doctor who treats everyone who comes into the hospital regardless of their political affiliation. This puts her life in danger and she's forced to flee with her daughter. The second character is a soldier who sees horrible war crimes committed and therefore struggles to remain loyal to his command. Third is a hardened smuggler who helps refugees cross the Mediterranean, wanting to cross himself but unable. And next is a poet who has to go against his own mild manner to protect his family of 5. And finally, there is a Greek Coast Guard captain whose job it is to pick up refugee rafts out of the Mediterranean. It is in this sea where all 5 lives meet in the climax of the film. The portrayal of the crisis is done tastefully, presenting the story in a straightforward manner rather than pushing a particular political agenda. The point of the film is to show how horrible violence and war is and remind us that everyone involved is a human being, not really a stranger at the end of the day. None of the characters are glorified either, which is tempting to do in a film that tackles a topic like this. Each character is complex, flawed, and experiences profound loss that drives a lot of their decisions. And the interconnected 5-story structure is a challenging one to pull off. It could easily become repetitive, but the filmmakers clearly understood their audience. They knew when to repeat a scene or portions of a scene, and when to leave something up to the imagination. The transitions between characters and time jumps are clear, and each segment ends on a cliffhanger, so you have to keep watching to find out what happens next. And my favorite part of the structure is how the stories connect and mirror each other indirectly. For example, there are 2 father-son duos separated by the Mediterranean. One of those duos is in Turkey, and the other one is in Greece. On the same night, each father falls asleep holding his son, only to wake up a few hours later to an alarm calling them to the Mediterranean for 2 different but connected jobs. The film is done well technically too. A handheld camera is used the majority of the time, which makes it feel unstable and chaotic in all the right moments. And the editing uses long cuts in dramatic scenes and lots of short cuts in more action-heavy sequences, which is basically filmmaking 101. This film was shot mostly on location, which truly adds so much to its authenticity. And finally, the acting is great, especially by the kids. All 5 storylines involve children, and each child actor seems to understand the stakes, which is very rare. I wouldn't be surprised, and I really hope that we see them emerge as stars later on in their careers. I Was a Stranger finishes with a silent call to action to remember that every person's life is incredibly valuable. And though we may be strangers now, we're all image bearers of the all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-good creator of the universe. As for content to consider, there's not too much language to note. The N-word is said in Arabic and translated into English using subtitles. For violence, as you can expect for a war movie, there's several scenes where bloodied victims of war are shown in a hospital or sprawled on the street. No gore is shown, but blood is smeared on people's faces, pulled a little bit on the ground, and there is a lifeless hand, but the rest of the body is hidden by rubble. Gun threats and violence are present, and 2 men are shot on camera, but no blood splatter is shown. There is an execution by firing squad where gunshots are heard and dead bodies are shown from afar or in the background. Bombs go off, including one inside of a family's home while they're eating dinner, but only the explosion and then immediate darkness are shown, and 2 children drown, and their limp bodies are held by their parents. There's nothing for sexuality. For themes and worldview, the title of the film perfectly encapsulates it. I Was a Stranger, with an emphasis on the was, represents how we should view every person we meet. The idea that we all bleed the same color is not new, but we as a society remain largely divided by culture, language, religion, race, political affiliation, you name it. And that's not how we're called as Christians to live. From the very beginning, Scripture teaches that every person we meet is a fellow image bearer of God. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created man in his own image. He created him in the image of God. He created them male and female. In the film, all 5 of the main characters meet out of a necessity, not because they were looking for a community or a new friend. Their loss, their fear, and their love unite them, and they recognize that they're all broken and need each other more than they think. In an early scene, the doctor is confronted for treating a rebel. With her own life on the line, she responds, "We treat the wounded and dying. We don't ask if they damaged our hospital or how they came to be wounded and dying." She chooses to treat each patient she encounters because she recognizes the innate value of all human life, which is given to us because of our relationship with God. And though we may not know each other in the traditional sense, we are connected in a way that transcends this world. We are all image bearers of God, so we're not really strangers after all. In the end, I really enjoyed this movie, both from a story standpoint and a technical standpoint. It's a great start to the film releases for the year, and it will definitely pull some heartstrings, and it might lead to some powerful conversation. I would love to hear your thoughts, so if you've seen it, jump into the comment section and let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of fun stuff like other movie reviews, interviews, a podcast. Stay safe out there and continue to collide with your world for Christ.